Welcome to our nightly news. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic received Mohammed Ali Tamim, Iraq's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Planning, who delivered an invitation to attend the upcoming Arab League summit set to be held in Iraq. On the second day of his visit to the 4th Military Region, Army General Saad Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense and Chief of Staff of the PNA, oversaw live ammunition tactical exercise in the northeast operational sector of Ain Minas. Algeria has called on before the International Court of Justice to grant humanitarian access to UNRWA, especially in Gaza, where the situation is now among the worst tragedies of our time. In France, a minute of silence in memory of Abu Bakr Sisi, the victim of a racist murder, was finally added to the National Assembly's agenda. The tribute was only secured following pressure from France and both deputies. Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's news. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received the Vice President of the Council of Ministers and Minister of Planning of the Republic of Iraq, Mohammed Ali Tamim, who is also the Special Envoy of the Iraqi President. During the audience, he conveyed an official invitation to President Tebboune to attend the upcoming Arab League summit set to take place in Baghdad. The meeting was attended by the Principal Private Secretary to the President of the Republic, Boualam, and the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf. Let's have a listen.
I had the honor today to meet with the President of the Algerian Republic. I was carrying an invitation to participate in the Arab Summit scheduled in Baghdad on May 17th. I also conveyed greetings from the President of the Iraq Republic as well as that of the Prime Minister to the President of the Algerian Republic.
بإصرار لحضور القمة العربية في بغداد وبإذن الله سنراه في بغداد قريبا لحضور القمة العربية.
The news, and on the second day of his visit to the 4th Military Region, Army General Saad Shingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense and Chief of Staff of the PNA, oversaw a tactical exercise with live ammunition at the northeast operational sector in Ain Minas. Details with Rania Al-Bahri.
The Army General, accompanied by Major General Omar Tlemceni, Commander of the 4th Military Region, followed a presentation by the Sector Commander, which covered the general concept of the exercise and its implementation phases. This tactical exercise, conducted using live ammunition, aims to test the combat readiness of the operational sector's units and their ability to carry out potential combat missions, control combat equipment and modern weapon systems, and train commanders and staff. It also aims to develop their knowledge in planning, preparation, organization and execution, and expose them to a real-life battlefield.
أسود على مسافة
At the sector's maneuver field, the Army General closely monitored the various combat operations carried out by the assaulting ground and air units. These operations were characterized by great professionalism at all stages and by high-level tactical and operational performance. This once again confirms the seriousness of the operations carried out at the plan and execution levels. It reflects the high competence of the personnel in planning, managing and coordinating various combat operations, as well as the skill and ability of individuals to master the use of various weapon systems and equipment and service.
بداية العد التنازلي 3 2 1 ارمي. تم تنفيذ المهمة بنجاح. الإصابة النارية 100%.
At the end of the exercise, the Army General met with the members of the units conducting the exercise to evaluate the overall performance of the participants. He congratulated them on their efforts in preparing and executing this live-fire tactical exercise, which achieved highly satisfactory results, demonstrated by the accuracy of the shooting with various weapons and the complete coordination between the various units and the advancing forces. He urged everyone to capitalize on the positive results achieved and turn them into a strong foundation that will increase the strength and pace of developing the operational performance on the battlefield, particularly in this sensitive region, and the National People's Army in general. The Army General then inspected the military units and formations participating in this exercise.
Still in the 4th Military Region, Army General Sachin Giriha inaugurated the Wilgra Regional Training Center. Army General also took a close look at the quality of the infrastructures built to ensure the best possible conditions of comfort for beneficiaries. Najah Tayar.
On this occasion, the Army General congratulated those responsible for the efforts made to deliver the new infrastructures on time and urged them to maintain them in condition, demonstrating professionalism and rigorous management so as to ensure quality services. Afterwards, the Army General went to Janet, where he inaugurated and officially named the new headquarters of the Janet Southeast Operational Sector and followed a detailed presentation by the sector commander. On this occasion, the Army General gave a series of guidelines and instructions in short to redouble efforts in this sensitive border region with a view to ensuring optimum border protection and thwarting all terrorist attacks, drug trafficking and other forms of organized crime.
And the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, National Committee Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, received a phone call from his Indian counterpart, Subramaniam Jaishankar. The conversation focused on bilateral ties and prospects for strengthening cooperation in light of the outcomes of the Indian President's visit to Algeria in October 2024 and in anticipation of upcoming bilateral events, notably the Algerian-Indian Joint Commission. During the call, Minister Attaf reaffirmed Algeria's position recently expressed at the UNSC, in which he firmly condemned the terrorist attack in Pahalgam. He also underscored the importance of safeguarding the foundations of security and stability in the region, while upholding the principles of dialogue, restraint and the pursuit of peaceful solutions to even the most complex disputes. The Minister of State, Ahmed Attaf, received a phone call as well from his Iranian counterpart, Abbas Araghchi. The discussion centered on the recent UNSC meeting regarding the negotiation process surrounding Iran's nuclear program. Ahmed Attaf was briefed by his Iranian counterpart on the latest developments on this matter. The two ministers also exchanged views on the latest developments in the Palestinian cause in light of the continuing Zionist aggression against the Palestinian people. And Sonalgas and G. Vernova signed several memorandums of understanding aimed at boosting exports of gas turbines and power transmission equipment. And this as part of efforts to strengthen Algeria's presence in international energy markets. The agreement includes local manufacturing, the JEET plant in Batna province, training programs to transfer expertise and plans to target markets in the Middle East, advancing national goals for industrial development and added value. Let's have a listen. The Minister of the Interior, Ibrahim Murad, oversaw a graduation ceremony in Algiers for 3 new classes of civil protection. The ceremony marked the 70th intake of lieutenants, the 50th of second lieutenants, and the 48th of officers. On the occasion, the Minister announced the upcoming recruitment of 2,200 new civil protection officers.
إن شاء الله نحن مقبلون على توظيف بالتدقيق 2200 With God's willing, we're about to hire a 2,200 person, including officers, assistants, and non-commissioned officers. They will reinforce, after a year of training, the ranks of civil defense, which always respond to our needs. We also hope for a strict organization of protection, especially when equipped with necessary means, so as to meet our needs.
تتماشى ومتطلبات حاجياتنا.
International news. Algeria's voice was once again raised in the international legal stage for Palestine. A decisive Algerian plea exposed the crimes of the Zionist occupation against UNRWA and the besieged residents of Gaza, thus reaffirming once again that Algeria's commitment to the Palestinian cause is not measured by occasions, but rather is rooted in historical commitment. Rania Al-Bahri reports.
On Tuesday in The Hague, Algeria urged the International Court of Justice to require the Zionist entity to grant unfettered humanitarian access to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees across the occupied Palestinian territories. Algerian delegates stressed that the humanitarian situation, especially in Gaza, represents one of the gravest failures of our generation and demands immediate concrete relief measures. Maya Sahli Fadel emphasized that as occupying power, the Zionist entity must legally enable UNRWA's work and called on ICG to mandate all measures guaranteeing safe passage for humanitarian relief.
Israel's behavior towards UNRWA is predates the offensive that it began in Gaza in October 2023. However, the attacks perpetrated since remain unprecedented. Israel has attacked staff and destroyed the premises, the property, and the assets belonging to UNRWA. It has also taken as a target and killed and detained UNRWA staff. This demonstrates what the policy that Israel has pursued for a very long time, aiming at obstructing its mandate.
Algeria is asking the ICG for an advisory opinion to define the occupying power's legal responsibilities toward the UN, other organizations, and third states in the occupied Palestinian territories, with the hearings aimed at clarifying those duties in a long-term occupation.
Speaking at a UN Security Council session in New York, Algeria's permanent representative Ammar Ben Jama said that the lack of collective action, accountability and the persistence of double standards have allowed the Zionist occupation to continue its aggression with impunity.
A campaign of genocide, a campaign of ethnic cleansing, a campaign of collective punishment, and of systematic destruction of Palestinian life and livelihood. Worse still, the international community and this very Security Council failed to extend the level of support required to make this effort impactful. The absence of collective action, the lack of accountability, and the double standards have emboldened the Israeli occupier to act with total impunity.
One province judicial officers from the Regional Operational Center for Army Security in the 2nd Military Region seized 730 kilograms of Indian hemp and 560 grams of drugs. The shipment, initially headed for Oran province, was rerouted and intercepted in Batna. The operation also led to the arrest of 6 vehicles and money. The suspects were referred to the investigation judge, who ordered their detention on charges of drug trafficking, smuggling and serious harm to public health. And the minute of silence was finally held following pressure from the Ambod deputies, who demanded a tribute for the victim of a racist murder in a mosque while he was peacefully praying. Sisse's tragic death sparked widespread outrage, and this moment of silence marked a recognition of the brutal act. Najaf Tayyar.
A minute of silence was finally observed in the National Assembly to honor the victim of a brutal violence, a moment of rightful tribute, though it came only after a fierce political struggle led by left-wing deputies against resistance from the far right and its allies.
Donc en conférence des présidents, la réponse de la présidente de l'Assemblée nationale a été qu'il n'y a pas de minute de silence pour des cas individuels, je cite.
The family of Abu Bakr Cissé, a fully French family, was received not by the national leaders but by Green Party deputies and their daughters. A gesture, yes, but not enough to erase the initial humiliation. And what does this family ask for? Only one thing, that is justice and the full application of the Republic's promise of equality.
Et on ne le comprend pas.
We don't understand why the president refused this minute of silence. In silence, we remain confused, even revolted, but that doesn't take away our incomprehension and our anger at the very idea that someone could think of refusing it and say it out loud. All we're asking is that the state ensures justice is served for our brother. We want the truth to come out and for those responsible to be held accountable. Today we also demand that the family be received with dignity, just like any other family would be, by the head of the state or the representative of the Republic. For 48 hours, the authorities remained silent, unable or unwilling to clearly name a terrorist crime, where in other cases they would have rushed to label it as such. Crimes committed by others have often been hastily denounced in the Assembly, and today several MPs are calling for the resignation of the Minister of Religious Affairs.
Face à cet attentat terroriste islamophobe, où était le ministre chargé de protéger tous nos concitoyens, quelle que soit leur confession?
Faced with this Islamophobic terrorist attack, where was the minister whose job is to protect all citizens, regardless of their faith? It took 2 full days to react, and even then he didn't go to the crime scene, nor to see the family. And when he finally spoke, he didn't even say the victim's name. He referred to him simply as an individual, as if trying to erase him, just as the dignity of our people has been erased and trampled on for years. Is there hatred toward our Muslim compatriots? Because your silence, your contempt, your absence, these aren't just political failures, they are moral ones. They send a message that to you, a Muslim citizen's life is worthless. So I'll say this, the Republic deserves better than you. The Republic is better than you. Mr. Rotaillot, it's time to resign. The French people need a full-time minister who will protect them. Go away.
Partez organiser votre congrès. Les Français ont besoin d'un ministre à plein temps pour les protéger. Allez-vous-en.
C'est un crime islamophobe.
This is an Islamophobic crime. They killed someone in the mosque. What next? Tomorrow they'll come knocking on our doors to kill us. Will it be an open season on Muslims?
C'est quoi, on viendra frapper à nos portes pour nous tuer? Ce sera une chasse aux musulmans?
Even the faithful are afraid to come and pray at the mosque after what happened. People are scared now, and this fear is growing.
Cette mort, malheureusement,
Sadly, this death has become a symbol of many criticisms of how Muslims are treated in France. The result is there for all of us to see, and it's pitiful that we can't debate today simply to express our solidarity with Muslims in France.
le résultat est là, et c'est pitoyable qu'on puisse aujourd'hui débattre tout simplement pour dire notre solidarité avec les musulmans de France.
Abu Bakr Cissé's murder says as much about one man's violence as it does about a country's silence. When a crime is committed in a place of worship and the nation has to negotiate whether to pay tribute, that's not just a failure of empathy, it's a betrayal of the Republic's core values, sacrificed on the altar of electoral ambition.
To London now, at the invitation of the Centre of Islamic Studies at Oxford University, Sheikh Mohammed Ma'moun Al-Qasimi Al-Husseini, rector of Jama' al-Jazair, delivered a lecture on the universal thought of Emir Abdul Qadir. He underlined the continued relevance of the Emir's legacy in addressing today's global challenges, marked by imbalances and crises, describing peace as a continuous moral and collective pursuit just as vital as political will. The South African embassy in Algiers hosted the 6th diplomatic forum of solidarity with the Sahrawi people. The session brought together 17 ambassadors and diplomatic representatives from Africa, Asia and Latin America, who discussed the latest developments in the Sahrawi issue and reaffirmed their support for the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination. Participants also praised Algiers' unwavering position in support of a just and lasting solution. Let's have a listen.
we had to be considering a number of issues that the forum is dealing with. We had a review of the current situation in Sahrawi. We noted with concern some of the developments around the world concerning the support for the continued oppression of the people of Sahrawi. We also looked internally on how we can strengthen the forum and how we can improve our work going forward.
The diplomatic solidarity forum with Western Sahara is there to support, and is made up of countries that already have relations with the Western Sahara. So we were sitting looking at what we have done in the past and projecting forward. How do we improve on our work? How do we continue to work so that our support become visible?
مع الذكرى 55 ل 17 يونيو لمراجعة صياغة العمل.
On the eve of the 55th anniversary of the creation of the Polisario Front, the forum evaluated the work accomplished so far and adopted a new roadmap reaffirming its commitment to the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination.
And the Montpellier section of the French Communist Party has condemned the recent statement by the city's mayor expressing support for Morocco's sovereignty over Western Sahara. The local branch stressed that the position contradicts international law. And that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.